actually 2 years before I was diagnosed, I had a gut feeling that I had something. I didn't feel right. I was coughing quite a bit. Then one day I was on the computer and I started coughing pretty hard. And the next thing I knew, I had a handful of blood. So I called my buddy, John Southard. He's my pulmonologist. And he said, "You better get in here." And I said, "All right." So the next day I went in and they took some pictures from the funny pages and stuff. And he did a biopsy. And the day after that, he called me and said, "You need to come in." So wife and I went in. He said, "You got cancer." I said, "Okay, what's the downside?" I got washed down pretty good with Agent Orange in Vietnam. I spent a lot of time around asbestos, especially in an early age, as most everything had asbestos on it. I smoked for a long time. And I was up to like 2.5 packs a day when I quit. And I was pretty close to radiation sometimes. So, I think I just tempting it. So, I wasn't surprised when I had it. Didn't shock me a bit. And I said, "Well, shoot, I got a cold, now I got to cure it." I knew that when I saw John Uckerblum, who's no longer with us, and I miss him every day. When I saw John and the nurses in there and the ladies in radiology, I had a team. There was no way I was going to lose. I felt confident with him. I trusted him. So it didn't bother me to communicate anything with him. Tell him how I felt. It was important, I think, to communicate to them how I was feeling, whether I was feeling good or, I was having a tough day or something like that. Very rarely did I ever have a tough day, and if I did, it was usually because I was breathing kind of hard. And that's something you just have to work through. You can't sit and say, "Oh, gee, I can't breathe. I better quit." No, you got to tough it up and work through it. Well, sometimes it's you don't know where your breath's coming from. Sometimes humidity can kind of knock your socks off. You have to pace yourself more than you ever had. It's not that you can't do anything, you can, but you have to pace yourself. And you can't sit on your duff. You got to get up and do something. And what that does, it exercises the heart, gets your muscles stronger, and you require less oxygen to be able to do what you're doing. You're not better, but you're better conditioned to handle it. First having the cancer, there was no sure outcome. There was nothing written in stone. I looked at things differently. I won't lie to you. I'm not going to say that I was 100% sure I was going to beat it, but I was fairly confident. But I looked at things differently. Things that used to upset me didn't upset me anymore. When I said I love you to my wife, it somehow meant more. Hugs meant more. Talking to my son meant more. seeing other people in that condition meant more. It was almost like Vietnam. I was alive again with a whole different set of rules.